Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jordan. If you're new here, today's video is going to be basically a demo and overview of the new Dior Summer Dune collection. So if you're interested in these products, then keep on watching. First thing I'm going to be starting off with is the Dior Natural Nude Foundation in the shade 6N. Next thing I'm going in with is the Dior Skin Correct Concealer to color correct. This is in the shade 5N. We're going in with the Lip Bar Quick Conceal in the shade 4 O'Clock Cinnamon. I need to buy a new one. It's almost done. For my under eyes, I'm going to go in with the Dior Cushion Powder in the shade Deep. So I'm tempted to put on my Backstage powder as well, but I'm not going to do that because I know that it gives my skin a radiance and a blur. And we want to see how this bronzer blends by itself. So this is the Forever Natural Bronze in the shade 80 Deep Bronze. This is the component, so very similar to the powder component. It's cute. It's so cute. I love this. So the bronzers come in 8 shades, and I have the last shade, and it retails for $48. I picked mine up from Nordstrom. I believe that it's available at Nordstrom and Selfridges at the moment. I haven't seen it on Dior's website, but I'm not sure if it's available at the moment. So I'll leave available links for you guys. But this is the color of the bronzer inside the pan. Just to give you a comparison to the bronzer I always use, this is my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in Deep, and they look pretty similar. Charlotte is a little warmer looking at it right now, but we'll see how this applies onto the skin. I'm excited to try this. So I have 2 different brushes here. These both are from Refer. This is the number 22 bronzer brush, and then this is the number 5. It's like a cheek brush. So both of them are really good for bronzer. This of course is going to give you more blend. It's just going to give you a little bit more precision. I want to try both of them just to see how this bronzer blends. So yeah, let's get started. I think I'm going to just go ahead in with the number 5 first so we can see the pigmentation of the bronzer. It does have a bit of kickback, just a heads up, when you put the brush in. And that's the color payoff. Okay, color. Ooh. That's pretty. Bronzer is definitely a little bit more neutral than the Charlotte. Charlotte is definitely a little bit more warm on my skin tone, but this is giving me definition and it blends very nicely. If you like a neutral bronzer, I think you're gonna like this one. There we go. So one side with bronzer, and then no bronzer. Yeah, pretty neutral. So I'm gonna go on with the 22 now. And let's see how it builds up with a more blendable brush. Okay, so a little bit more diffused, of course, with the fluffier brush. A lot of kickback on that, just a heads up. Ooh, this is pretty. I like the big brush on my forehead. That is pretty. I like this bronzer. I like the tone of it. I think, knowing me though, always gonna add a little bit of Charlotte just to give me a little bit more warmth. But this is pretty, and it blends very nicely. Okay, so there we go. We do have pigmentation from the bronzer, which is great. It's more of a neutral undertone. So if you are somebody that likes a more warm undertone, keep that in mind. You might not like the tone of this, but it does give definition and depth. And like you saw, I wore the shade, I can go between 5N and 6N in Dior foundations. And the rest of my foundations that I wear will be linked down in the description box down below if you want to see if we're close in color. But yeah, what's next? Let me just go ahead and finish my cheeks since we're here. I'm going to go in with, not the Backstage powder, with my Glitz Backstage palette number 2. And we're just mixing all the shades together. Just pop that on the cheeks. For my blush today, I'm going to be going in with LYS blush in the shade Inspire. Love. Look at that. It blends so well on top of powder. Alright, there we go with some blush. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my brows, and now I'll come back and I'll show you my eyeshadow. So Dior came out with 2 limited edition eyeshadow palettes for the summer, and I picked up one of them. This is the Summer Dune in the shade 759, and this eyeshadow palette also retails for $63. And I picked mine up from Nordstrom as well. The crazy thing is that the new Dior eyeshadow formula is so good that I can excuse the price because the blendability is so amazing. So this better lives up to the new formula. And let me just show you what the colors look like because this is so pretty. It's pretty. So this is the palette. Isn't that pretty? Oh, it's beautiful. So, I mean, if you love Dior eyeshadows, if you're a collector of luxury makeup, this is gonna be something that you might like. If you're just, you know, a makeup wearer and you're chilling, you don't need to get this, but I love Dior, clearly. And like I mentioned, the new eyeshadow formula is so good. So on my eyes, I already have a mixture of my Anastasia eyeshadow base with my Dior Skin Correct concealer, and we're just gonna go ahead and apply eyeshadow. We're gonna go ahead and start off with this shade right here. And I'm using a reference number 27. Keep in mind that all of these shades are going to have a sheen to it, but we're going to pop that right on the outer eye. It's already pretty. There we go. Very slight sheen to it. It's pretty. It's very similar to my skin tone though, so if someone is lighter, they'll probably get a little bit more depth from this, to be honest. But I'm gonna go in now with, I wanna pop this one all over my eyes. It's pretty. I am gonna go in with a bit of this one right here with the same little sponge applicator because it works pretty well for this formula. And pop that in the middle. This is what we're looking like so far. Just your nice, simple, warm eye. I want a little bit more depth though. If I'm not, yeah, I want a little bit more depth. I feel like I need a little bit more darkness there, but it's fine. We'll keep it bright today because I just want to use this palette solo. Let's go in with, because I want to use all the colors. We're gonna go in this shade, bottom inner corner. I'm using this little brush, but I don't think I like this little brush that comes in it. I like the sponge applicators, but not the brush. Nope. All right, let me go to my reference brushes. Switching over to my reference number 3 with that color. Not that little brush. There we go. really pretty. There we go. So right at the bottom lash line. And with the same brush, I'm gonna go in with the center color here. Bring it up into the crease. Y'all, if y'all hear a lot of noise today, my daughter is in school. Okay? So yeah, that's the noise. There we go. Oh, that's cute. Kind of open up the eyes a little bit. Yes. And then we're gonna go back in with the first color that we used and just apply it to the bottom lash line. Pop it up. That is my finished eye look with the Summer Dune palette. I'm gonna go ahead and put on some lashes and mascara, and I'll come back and I'll show you what everything looks like. Alright guys, so I am back, and this is my finished look. So I have on lashes and mascara, and then for my lips, I have on the usual Gucci lipstick in the shade Tacey Hazel. So yeah, for the most part with this collection, I do love the bronzer. I think it blends very well. Like I mentioned before, it's more neutral. So if you want a little bit more warmth, just keep that in mind. But I think the blendability is really nice, and I like the depth that it gives my complexion without being overly like pigmented and muddy, if that makes sense, because the blendability is so good. But the eyeshadow palette, I like the look that I created. I think it's like very nice and sophisticated, but you don't need the eyeshadow palette, like, to be honest. If you're a collector of Dior eyeshadows, then I think that you will enjoy it. But if you're looking for like an everyday or even like, you know, a going out type of eyeshadow, you don't need it. It's pretty to look at, and I'm happy that I have it, but I wouldn't say run out and get it if I am being honest. Alright guys, so yeah, that's going to be my thoughts on the new Dior summer collection. So if you're interested in anything, everything will be linked down in the description box down below. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jordine. I would love for you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and if you like the video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!